Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is sponsored by fine people like Mike DeMaria.
This is Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast. Blackberry Way The Move.
Blackberry Way, absolutely pouring down with rain. It's a terrible day. Out with the love, cynical, I don't know what to say. She was running away, so now I'm standing on the corner, lost in the things that I said. What am I supposed to do now? Goodbye, Blackberry Way. I can't see you, I don't need you. Goodbye, Blackberry Way. Should you want me back another day?
What's that song all about?
The Move released Blackberry Way as a single on November 28, 1968. Wikipedia describes the song as
A bleak counterpoint to the sunny psychedelia of early recordings.
According to songfacts.com,
Blackberry Way is often cited as an answer song to the Beatles' Penny Lane. It has similarity with Penny Lane, only with much darker lyrics and a melancholy mood. Roy Wood said,
I suppose it could have been. We were all very influenced by what the Beatles were doing because they were the best songwriters around.
the bridge is lifted from the intro of Harry Nilsson's Good Old Desk.
Carl Wayne refused to sing the song, which that and a desire for a solo career led to his exit from the Move. In a September 30th, 1994 interview with Ken Sharp at Goldmine, Roy Wood said,
He got to a point where he was a bit annoyed about not getting songwriting credits and money and stuff. I played Carl Blackberry Way, and he refused to sing it.
At this point, the Move became a trio: Roy, Bevan, and Burton. However, that lineup didn't last long. Trevor Burton left soon after this song. In the Goldmine interview, Roy said,
To me, Blackberry Way stands up as a song that could be sung in any era, really. We do it now with all sort of fanfare things in it, and it works really well. It goes down great with audiences.
The song features the only person other than Jeff Lynne to be on every ELO album. Richard Tandy plays harpsichord. It was covered in 1969 by Equipe 84, The New Seekers in 1971, Gothard in 1998, Roy Wood in 2011, The Wonder Stuff in 2012, and Cheap Trick in 2017.
Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
And I'm Eric Winsenson.
Blackberry Way is... We're not going to go this week, I guess, because we're saying goodbye to Blackberry Way. So sad.
So sad.
I'm going to guess that I first heard this song last week. I may have heard it before, but I don't remember. So for this, we're just going to say the first time I heard it was a couple days ago. And I did not like it. I think part of that reason was because I went searching for it on Apple Music, which is always a crapshoot because there's barely any Move on Apple Music. And the first thing I came across was the one by Roy Wood in 2011. And I like that. So then I went to YouTube to find the original version by The Move. I didn't like that. Compared to the 2011 one, it was plodding. I'm not saying the 2011 one is like Flight of the Bumblebee, perky, happy, fast. It's a little bit faster. Fast enough to where I wasn't going what I was thinking about the Move version, which was, can we pick this up a little bit, please? You're dragging along. But if you've been listening to this podcast, I listen to it once a day, over a week. And by the third or fourth listen, I was like, I do like this song. I like the Move version. I also like the Roy Wood version. So I like it. It is a gloomy song, which is perfectly fine. It took a few listens, but I like it.
Can't believe you didn't like this to begin with. I don't see where it would be plotting at all. It is not a happy song, but it was one of their biggest hits. was a #1 song in the UK, and I was surprised by a few things in it. #1, it's very intentionally similar to Penny Lane, where Penny Lane is happy and nostalgic, kind of in a sarcastic John Lennon way too, because we're not talking about the most upscale part of Liverpool. I guess it was where they changed buses a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's kind of a nostalgic song and had trumpets and everything in it. Blackberry Way is a song about leaving things behind and lost love and everything else, and it has a mood to it. It's kind of like an answer song of, okay, well, there was the Beatles with their happy nostalgia, here's reality.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is a real Blackberry Way. I didn't look into it that much. But yeah, I could feel that sense of I'm leaving my past behind. I'm leaving, now that this relation's over, there's not really much to think about here anymore. I can see how this is not ideal, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's definitely the mirror universe of Penny Lane. I saw some things written that said it was almost like this might be a goodbye to the psychedelic move. Like
Yes.
that Roy Wood is just like, all right, time has moved on. We need to move on too. There are some words in here that are kind of like that could very well be. One of the lines is, what am I supposed to do now? Because, I mean, the Move pretty much based their music on the big psychedelic stuff of 67, 66. You know, that psychedelic thing is fading pretty fast, if not kind of mostly gone by fall 1968 when this came out, or when he may have wrote and recorded. So now it's like, well, now I got to find a different way to do the Move and not rely so much on the psychedelic stuff as a crutch. He says, goodbye, Blackberry Way. I don't need you. So is it maybe sort of like, all right, I'm not doing the psychedelic stuff, but you know what? I do have other ideas. I only have a smattering of idea of what is up next for the Move. So I don't know if after this they completely ditched the psychedelic stuff. I know there's some weird stuff coming up. I don't know if maybe it would be called psychedelic or just like overindulgent arty rock, where Roy is just thinking, how weird can I push things? So we'll see where that goes.
Well, from what I was reading up about this song is it was meant to be a kind of a departure from their previous sound, because they needed one.
Yeah, it was time.
Yeah, it was time. They were pretty much running out of ideas and what they were doing. And so Roy Wood decided it's time to make a change. Even though this still has the psychedelia to it, it has those strings. It's not happy flowers. And even though the title's Blackberry Way, it's not a happy flower power song.
No, it's not.
So it's basically saying things are going to change. Well, there was somebody in the band that did not want things to change. His name was Carl Wayne. Carl Wayne refused to sing this song. And so Roy sang it. And so, since Roy sang it, and it was one of their biggest hits, Carl Wayne made a huge mistake. Because as the front man, you usually are indispensable. He made himself expendable. See? I can do this myself. But I'm the front man. Yeah, uh-huh. My band.
I don't want to try and make Roy Wood out to be like a tyrant and like, oh, really? Okay, get the hell out of here because this is my band and I'm the one who made you famous.
I don't think we went like that. It was more along the lines of it's my band, I know what I'm doing, and obviously he knew what he was doing. I mean, after Wild Wild Woman and all a string of failures there trying to get back on the charts, all of a sudden this comes in and everybody goes, this is what we want to hear. And it doesn't sound like Flowers in the Rain. It sounds like something different saying, okay, we're done with this.
Yeah. And this was the single that saved the Move. Because after those disasters with Wild Woman and that wretch-inducing live album, they were like,
yeah,
all right, we're going to give this one more chance. And if this single bombs, then we're done. The Move is splitting up. Fortunately, it got to #1. So the Move was saved. I also read that the bridge of this song sounds a lot like the opening for Nilsson's Good Old Desk. And yeah, it sure does. it pretty much lifts it from that song.
One of the links you sent me was for Roy Wood's 2011 remix of this, which wasn't bad, but it just seemed like a bunch of fiddling for not really doing anything new with the song or making it any better.
See, I liked it better. I like the addition of the strings. The thing that bugs me, though, is it fades out when it was going to get even better. Because it sounds like the main music was going to fade down, and then the strings were going to go off in their own direction for a little bit. Sort of like Love Me Tomorrow by Chicago, where the main song dies down, and then we get the string section for a little bit, and then that fades out. But it all fades out at once.
There's strings on the original, so I do like the original a lot better.
Yeah, but the strings on the original aren't, I guess, so in your face as they are with the 2011 one.
Yeah, but it just seems like an unnecessary bunch of fiddling with a song that was already good.
Yeah, I liked it, but yeah, it doesn't seem like, was this really necessary? Did it need to be done? I don't think it needed to be done, but I'm glad it was done.
No, what needs to be done is for Roy Wood to do an entire album where he plays everything on it and remakes all the Move's best songs. For the modern day.
No, we don't need that.
Got something to say about Blackberry Way? Then call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now.
There'll be a moderate or severe frost tonight in most districts except the southwest of England. It will remain very cold everywhere. That's the weather, but now let's forget about it and join Late Night Lineup.
Goodbye, Blackberry Way. Should you want me back another day?
I made the title up. Ever since then, I've been looking for a place called Blackberry Way, and I've found a Blackberry Lane in Birmingham. That was the closest I got.
Just like myself, they are neglected. Turn with my eyes to the wall.
Roy wrote the song as we beat people up.
When these Brummy Bother boys made the move south, they brought the house down.
The rumour was that McCartney and Jagger and all sorts of people used to come to the marquee to see this new, if you like, bunch of reprobates who'd come down from the Midlands. We were putting a steel-bladed axe through the front of a television. We were chopping up cars while strippers were stripping on stage. We weren't your actual, Dave Dee, Dozy Beacon, We Can Teach You the Tremolos. It was a bunch of hooligans, really.
What am I supposed to do?
Blackberry Way was part of a plan to go straight.
I think they used that as an excuse to try and clean up the Move, and it didn't work very well. It didn't last much longer than that.
Some things, however, were built to last.
This is the new Ford Capri.
Was it a hit or was it?
Blackberry Way was released as a single on Regal's Zonophone. It got to number 23 in Finland, number 20 on Belgium's Wallonia Ultra Pop 50, on Denmark's Sogelschietelisterne Top 20 it peaked at number 17, number 15 in Italy and on the Netherlands Dutch Top 40, number 14 in Australia, Austria, and the Top 100 Singles chart in the Netherlands. 13 on Belgium's Flanders Ultra Pop 50. New Zealand put it at number 10, number 7 on one Swedish chart, and the official German charts in West Germany. It got to number 5 on Denmark's Tippererden chart, and Sweden's Tio I Top chart. It topped out at number 4 in Rhodesia, number 3 in Norway, Ireland took it to number 2, and it made it to number 1 in the United Kingdom.
Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850-3375. 888-848-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com and we'll read and reply to it on the show. Keep up to date by joining our Facebook group and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra Podcast channel, to hear other goodies. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast's email address, or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. Next week, something.